Just do your best and don't judge yourself.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I came all the way from Tokyo again.
You don't have to keep saying that every time.
Okay, sure. I hope you see. Okay, my first question is about Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl. Yes.
Yeah, Feather the Serpent. This is something I asked you before about the incident that took place in Mexico City in 1991.
Yes. And we talked about the idea of the return of the vibration of Quetzalcoatl. Kukulkan, yes.
Yeah, right. Could you expand on that?
You're becoming more aware of the ancient extraterrestrial connection, the vibration, the reality, the energy that was represented by the extraterrestrial that was known or became known as the image of the dragon Kukulkan. It's not literally a dragon as you understand it, but the vibrational energy of that particular being and that particular reality that it's connected to was represented by the idea of Quetzalcoatl Kukulkan. So that energy is awakening again on your planet.
Okay. That's why you are mentioning about the Kukumats frequently
the
recently.
The Kukumats frequency, which is the same idea of the crystal skull, yes.
Okay, so that's kind of awakening. That's returning.
Yes. You will discover more things that are connected and representative of that vibration, of the return, quote unquote, of the energy and the vibrational frequency of Kukulkan, Quetzalcoatl, Kukumats, whatever you want to call it, it's all the same idea with different interpretations.
Okay. And the craft that was witnessed in 1991 in Mexico City was also witnessed in other places, including Japan.
Yes.
And you said that there was an interesting connection there.
The interesting connection, again, is what you have interpreted in your reality as the vibration of the dragon, which is representative of a group of beings in another dimension that you interpret when they come into your dimension in the form of the idea you call a dragon. That's not how they necessarily are or look in their own reality, but it's how your minds interpret them in your reality, because they're very powerful beings of a very specific type that plays upon certain archetypal symbols when they press themselves into your collective consensus reality that gets interpreted in the form of a dragon.
Okay.
It represents ancient wisdom and power.
Okay. So that archetypal representation.
Yes.
I want to ask you about Amaterasu, the Japanese deity.
Yes.
Does she also has something to do with that?
It's peripherally connected. It's not identical, but there is a connection, yes.
Could you expand on that?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I thought you said no.
Well, how psychic of you.
Yeah, right.
It's simply not appropriate at this time.
Okay, sure. And I'm thinking of going to Angkor Wat in Thailand or Cambodia next year.
Oh, all right. Have a good time.
Yeah, I will. And one guy says that the arrangement of Angkor Wat temples imitate the Draco constellation.
Yes, many temples and such structures do represent connections to different constellations, yes.
Okay.
Remember, again, the idea, the symbol of the dragon, yes.
Yes. So those who created Angkor Wat had some understanding about the significance of a Draco constellation.
Yes.
Could you expand on that too?
No. They understood the vibration. They understood the vibrational frequency relationship and therefore built the temple to resonate at that frequency.
Okay.
It's like crystallizing a frequency of other dimensional energy into an architectural structure on your planet.
Okay. So those people who created Angkor Wat
they did it to help amplify their vibrational connection to beings that are associated with that constellation. So being in that temple can act as a resonator to upgrade and alter your frequency to be more akin to forming a connection, making it more probable to form a connection to that specific consciousness associated with that constellation. Different temples around the world are different connection points to different extra-dimensional, extraterrestrial, spiritual beings that are associated to different constellations vibrationally, energetically. So you could say that the temples and structures like the pyramids and temples around your planet are kind of like phone booths specifically geared to different constellations. So you can place calls more easily, strengthen the connections more easily by using the appropriate temple that's connected to a specific extra-dimensional consciousness.
Okay, well, that's interesting.
Yes, it is. I'm glad you think so.
Yeah, right. And about Serpent Mound.
The Serpent Mound in your Ohio area.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Serpent Mound also plays a role of a phone call to the constellation Draco.
It does, therefore, among other things, but you'll find that out too. Also look to the constellation you know as Cygnus.
Cygnus.
The swan.
Okay.
Yes? It's where the Anunnaki came from.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Will that do?
Yeah, I think that will do. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Allow yourselves to relax in your chairs. We will take you once more through a very brief recap of the mind-body meditation so that it may form the seed crystal that generates that vibrational frequency within your core as you yourselves then later, at a time of your own convenience, do the full meditation that we have described in this transmission earlier. But now become relaxed and allow yourself to breathe deeply and gently. And if you have music that you wish to play, by all means begin. Allow yourselves to breathe. Let go of the cares of the day and just allow yourself to go on a journey with us and within yourself. Breathe, breathe, and remember to appreciate the idea of the sustaining air and the oxygenation of your system that can energize your physical being to allow you to act upon the earth. For air is not only breath, but it is also speech. And the words you utter have vibrational resonance and significance, for they form the spells and the spelling of your life. So breathe in and breathe out the reality that you prefer in deep appreciation. Allow yourself to also shift to drink of the waters of life that sustain you upon the earth, that form your body and form the world. Allow yourself to drink deeply of this and allow yourself to be reborn and refreshed and revitalized by the pure waters of the world. Allow yourself to imagine drifting off to dreamland, where you reconnect in your awareness of your spirit and recharge your physical body with electromagnetic energy and play with the template reality that determines all you experience in the physical dream as you shift your vibration to encompass all within your physical experience, your physical dream, in your slumber, your deep, healing, beautiful, comfortable slumber from which you will awake reinvigorated and recharged with new purpose as a new you. And shift to the food that you intake that supports and sustains you and delights you and gives you a variety, an endless variety of flavors and sensations and experiences. And as you absorb it and as it supports you, know that you are also absorbed into nature, for you are nature. Allow yourself all the sensations that are also the flavors of your passion in life. And allow yourself to shift to your environment, that which supports you as a dwelling, that which supports you as nature, inside or outside, be it a structure, be it a dwelling, be it an architectural form or not, or simply a grove of trees, and the sky above to be your ceiling, and the ground beneath your feet to be your floor, and your eyes the windows upon the world. Shelter is simply that which provides you the ability to thrive in your physical world. Be appreciative and comforted. Wherever you are is home. Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home. And shift to the idea of connection and relationship. For you are always connected. You cannot be disconnected, for you cannot cease to exist. You are part of all that is, and you are necessary for it to be all that is. You are worthy and deserving of unconditional love, not only from all that is, but from yourself as a reflection of all that is. Give yourself that relationship to yourself, and it will simply attract into your life and reflect in your life all the forms of relationships that are necessary for you, be they other humans, animals, trees, rocks, the sky, the sea, or all that is, matters not. Relationships are reflections to allow you to be more of who you are. Learn from them, share with them. Give them what they need as they give you what you need. Be honest within your own relationship to yourself. Know thyself, as is said upon your planet. Be transparent and honest within yourself about your beliefs, the ones that work for you and the ones that don't. And let go of that which is not you. And treat yourself with love and kindness, and all others with compassion, for they are all on their own journeys, and what you have to share with them and how they use it is none of your business. Your business is you, to be you as best you can. That's the primary relationship you have with all that is. For you are all that is, expressing itself as the unique individual you are. And shift to your creative expression. Hold yourself back not from giving the gift of who you are. For as you have a gift to give, there is always someone waiting to receive it. Do not deprive them by refusing to act on your passion, by resisting your true flow. Let go, let go. You will be supported. You will be supported by the organizing principle of synchronicity. Your current in the ocean of creation knows where you need to go. Just go with that flow. Just go with the flow. It is you, the true you, the path of least resistance. Breathe all of this in deep appreciation, in deep gratitude and grace. Appreciate, appreciate, appreciate. Acknowledge what you have, not what you don't have. Appreciate what you have and allow what needs to happen next to happen. Everything that happens, happens for a reason. Remain in a positive state and you will see that it is so. It will always be to your benefit, Even if something manifests that you objectively don't prefer, it's there for a reason. Stay in a positive state and you will find that reason and receive the benefit. Do this vibrational permission slip mind-body meditation based on the 7 basic needs anytime you wish, and allow your imagination to alter and change to be your best guide as you will. It is given to you as a gift, and how you use it is none of our business. We give it to you freely, we give it to you unconditionally. To open your imagination to create your own permission slips, for you are the only one who can know fully who you are. For you are the only you. No matter how many parallel realities there may be with versions that seem similar, none are the same. You are unique. You are a reflection, a unique perspective, a unique point of view of all that is, of existence itself. Breathe it in and float freely now in the physical dream, the dream of many dimensions, the dream of all that is dreaming you as you dream of it. Be at peace. Be at peace. Be at peace. Allow your music to fade, but continue to breathe. Allow the silence to come upon you from the infinite void, and continue to simply drift and dream with us. Continue to drift and dream and continue on your journey and be here now. In light and love, welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home. Our unconditional love to you all. Sweet dreams and good day. All right, I'll say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right, I'll take that as an okay. First and foremost, once again, we thank each and every one of you individually, all of you together collectively, for the co-creation of this interaction. It is a great gift to us that allows us to experience our passion and our pleasure in communicating with all of you. Let us begin this transmission, which is titled the Mind-Body Meditation. It is based on what we have termed the 7 basic needs in life, in physical reality. Now, we're not going to do the meditation right now, but we're going to tell you how to do the meditation, and we will do a short version of it later on. For now, let us remind each and every one of you what the 7 basic needs in physical reality are. They are generally ordered by the amount of time it would take you to die if you didn't have it. The quicker ones being first. Now, some of them may seem like the lack thereof would cause you to physically die. Some of them don't necessarily seem that way, but they would allow you to experience, if you didn't express them, what you might perceive as a kind of diminishment of spirit, which could lead to the idea of depression and could lead to the idea of death, but it takes longer for most people. So let us begin to remind you of the 7 basic needs, first of all, before we go through the description of the mind-body meditation. Number 1, you need air. Without it, you will die physically relatively quickly. Now, please, before we continue, understand we are talking about the average, typical human. We understand that there may be beings on your planet that are shamans or medicine people or great teachers that may to some degree have been able to transcend some of the things we're about to say as basic human needs. But we're not talking about them, we're talking about what most of you would experience. So air. Very rapidly without it, physical death will come. Next will be water. You will find that without water, you may last roughly about a week. Many of you might think the next would be food, but it's not, it's sleep. You need sleep, you need to connect to spirit, you need to dream, you need to process in that way, you need to recharge in that way, and without it, you will find that in about, give or take, 11 days, you will start to go insane and probably start to die. Next is food, and you can last about 2 weeks without it, give or take. Now, after that, you find that the length of time gets a little bit longer, and it becomes something a little bit different. So those are the first 4. Next is what you might typically call shelter. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean a house. It simply means whatever environment is conducive to you thriving in physical reality. If you are in a particular area on your planet that is comfortable and allows you to exist without an actual typical shelter, that's fine. So we are really just talking about a conducive environment, be it a house or living in the jungle. Next comes the idea called connection or relationship. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship with a human. It can be a relationship with an animal. It can be a relationship with a tree, with a rock, with the cosmos, with all that is. But some form of sense of connection, of belonging, of being part of all that is also necessary, or you will sort of start to feel a spiritual atrophy within you. You will feel cut off and lonely. Finally, you have the idea of what we might call creative expression. In other words, what we have talked about many times about acting on your passion, expressing yourself, the true self in life. The idea of this creative expression, if dampened down, if held back, will again cause that internal, emotional, and spiritual atrophy that will allow you to feel that you are not being you. Again, may allow you to feel disconnected from all that is in a variety of ways and can lead to depression and death over long periods of time. So these are the 7 basic needs. If you allow yourself to have air, to have water, to have sleep, to have food, to have shelter, to have connection, and to have creative expression, your life will be fulfilled. Anything that you need will come to you that will fulfill you on these basic needs. There are different extrapolations of these needs, different, shall we say, sub-levels of these needs, expressed in a number of different ways, but these are the overall 7 basic categories. And if you can allow yourself to let your needs be fulfilled, then you can live a life of joy. Now, let me remind you that needs are not always the same thing as what you want. Sometimes what you want can coincide with what you need, but sometimes, and on your planet, sometimes not at all, it usually doesn't. Sometimes wants can simply be something from the negative ego that it may think it needs, which may have nothing at all to do with what you actually need to be fulfilled in life. So pay attention to the fact that sometimes what you want may have nothing at all to do with what you actually need to be a fulfilled person in your reality. Just a reminder. So now that we have stated the idea of the 7 basic needs in life that can allow you to feel fulfilled and live a life of creative joy, being who you are, who you truly prefer to be, the mind-body meditation that is based on these 7 needs will allow you to really link your mind, your body, your spirit, your higher mind, allow them to harmonize more strongly, and allow your life to accelerate, to be able to be open to letting these needs be fulfilled along the path of least resistance in your life. So, let us now describe this meditation. Do this when you wish. It is and can be a powerful permission slip to allow you to accelerate your energy and balance your energy in life. So, first and foremost, as we said, air. Each of these segments of the meditation will take 5 minutes. Not today, not right now, but when you wish, in a comfortable place, on your own schedule, on your own timing. So, air. When you decide to do this meditation, if you do, start with air, and for 5 minutes, just allow yourself to breathe. Gently in, gently out, and really start to appreciate the idea of how the air comes into your lungs, how it fills you up, how it energizes you. And then when you let it out, that feeling of release, that feeling of letting go of that which has nothing to do with who you truly are. In and out, the ebb and flow of life, force, and energy. Let it oxygenate you, allowing you to handle more energy, higher frequency energies. For 5 minutes, just feel the beauty of being able to breathe, the refreshment of the air that revitalizes and refreshes you. Just allow yourself to experience that for 5 of your minutes. If you need to set timers for this when you're meditating, that's fine. If you don't feel like you need it, that's fine. It doesn't have to be precise. You can shift from one moment, one basic need to the next when you feel that it's correct. Remember, like any permission slip that we may suggest, it's up to your own imagination, your own sense of your own body consciousness, your own sense of timing to decide when to flow from one thing to another. Let your imagination and your higher mind guide you in this. It doesn't have to be absolutely precise. All we're simply saying is that 5 minutes will suffice for each segment to give you the full effect of this particular mind-body meditation permission slip. So after you have allowed yourself to feel the beauty of the revitalization, of the oxygenation of the air that you breathe, then go to water. Now, if you actually wish in the meditation to take a sip of cool, refreshing water first, that's fine too. Again, let your imagination be your guide. But in that segment, allow yourself to feel the sensations, whether in your imagination or literally, of that cool, clear, refreshing water that you're drinking in, filling up your cells, plumping them up, giving you the medium by which communication can happen between the cells, giving you the medium by which the electric currents in your body can travel most efficiently, giving you that sense of connection to the water of the world, to the water that you are mostly made of as a physical being, to the water that covers most of your planet, to the rain that rains down upon you and allows things to grow. Feel all the aspects of the idea of that flow of water through you that again revitalizes and refreshes you and opens you up to deeper connections in the world through water. Allow yourself to go through that sensation and appreciate and be grateful for the idea of that sensation of the cool, refreshing sensation of water in your body, the slaking of your thirst, the hydration of your form, and anything else that comes into your imagination that will allow you to more fully appreciate and be grateful for the idea of that wonderful, life-sustaining water. And then you shift to the idea of sleep. Now, if you fall asleep in the meditation, that's fine. But allow yourself to focus more on the idea of the purpose of it. You can begin to feel the sensation, the coziness of laying down after a wonderful day and you're a little bit tired and you're excited to get some sleep and you feel yourself drifting off into that wonderful, restful place, feeling your energy calming down, feeling everything smoothing out and balancing out, that wonderful, cozy sensation of the blankets over you, your head resting on the pillow or wherever it is you like to lie down or sit up, and drift off into sleep, drift off into dreamland. Again, whether you actually do it or not, allow yourself to appreciate that what you're doing when you sleep is actually waking up into your true spirit self and making that connection to more of your being which resides in spirit. Because you never really leave spirit. You're all there right now. You're just dreaming that you've left, and that's what physical reality is. So when you ponder in this meditation the concept of going to sleep, it is actually waking up from the physical dream. So the idea is to wake up into more of your spirit self, make that connection, be aware of that connection, let that connection be like the charging of your battery, the realigning of your being, the order of your mind, the template level that determines what you experience in physical reality that you can rearrange in the direction of what you prefer to manifest in the physical world. Allow yourself to feel that connection to more of your being, the fullness of your being, and how much bigger you are as a consciousness. Be in that state floating. Feel the floating and the appreciation of that connection and the sensation of that beautiful floating on the currents of the ocean of creation as you drift off into dreamland, into dream time, in the timeless void. Allow yourself to ponder that for the 5 minutes. And then allow yourself to go into the idea of food. And again, if you wish to take a small bite of something that you enjoy and feel the pleasure of that sensation and the taste and the texture as it explodes in your mouth, and as you imagine or really chew and swallow, and you feel the revitalization and the energization of what it is that you are imagining or truly eating, and the gratitude and appreciation for the receiving of that sustenance and that support in life that energizes your body, that keeps it alive and thriving in your world. Allow yourself for that 5 minutes all of the enjoyment and the sensations of the idea of how food sustains you in your life. And allow yourself again that deep appreciation for that gift from your world that it supplies to you, that it uses to sustain you as extensions of nature. Because you are not in nature, you are nature. You are extensions of Gaia, of the earth consciousness, nature itself, and you are sustained by nature itself and all the teachers that the earth has to give you, that are natural, that work with you to expand your consciousness and also at the same time ground you to earth. Allow yourself to feel those wonderful sensations and different flavors and tastes rolling around in your mouth, on your taste buds, in your body, and the energy that comes from that as you move through life, as you see yourself gaining energy, being more active in life. Ponder that for that 5 minutes. And then move to the idea of shelter or environment. If you are in a place that you love, then appreciate it. Appreciate every angle of it, every corner of it, the color of it, the smell of it, the textures of it, the things it is made of. Or imagine the idea of your ideal dwelling or your ideal environment, whether it be indoors or outdoors. Feel upon you the sensations of either being in that dwelling or outside with the sun and the moon and the wind. Whatever it is that allows you to feel comforted, allows you to feel that you're thriving in that environment, allows you to feel that you are protected in that environment, not in the fear-based sense, but just nurtured and held in the arms of that environment, supported and sustained by that which is representative of your house. Again, be it inside or outside, but the product of all your beliefs that are in alignment and harmonious with who you truly prefer to be, that provide for you the dwelling, the environment, the world itself, in all of its physicalness, in all of its tangibility, in all of its sensations, that allow you to thrive and come and go and know that you will always have a place called home. And it will always welcome you. You will always belong there. Whether you move or not, whatever you call home, you will always belong because home is within you. And you take it wherever you go. As long as you are following the path of least resistance that is representative of the path of your passion, wherever you wind up through synchronicity will always feel correct, will always feel supportive, will always feel nurturing, and will always feel like home. Because you will be that home, and it will be reflected to you in the reflective mirror reality around you that you call the physical world. And allow yourself deep appreciation of that environment, whatever it may be. And then you move on to the idea of connection and relationship. Be it the people in your life, friends, family, lovers, matters not. Be it again an animal, a tree, a rock, the ocean, the stars, the cosmos, all that is. It doesn't matter. It only matters that you know you are connected and that you allow yourself to feel that sensation of belonging, of being, and knowing that you are worthy, or you would not exist, because creation doesn't make mistakes. So if you exist, then you are needed. There is connection. There never is not connection. Sometimes we know you can feel disconnected. But just remind yourself, as we discussed in the transmission called The Power of Paradox, that you cannot have a feeling or an experience of disconnection unless you're connected. Because you are drawing from all that is as an aspect, as a reflection, as a facet of the multidimensional crystal of creation, of all that is. You are drawing upon that connection to create whatever sensation, even sensations that make you feel like you are disconnected, that you have no relationship, that you are alone, cut off. You're still creating that with your connection. So that sensation of being connected, being a part of something, community, or even a blade of grass, will allow you to know that you are indestructible at your core, that you cannot cease to exist because you belong to all that is, and that you are worthy and deserving of being your true self. And that you can appreciate the reflections that you get from all the relationships that you may attract in your life. Again, be it people or otherwise. Everything is a mirror in some way, shape, or form. It may not always show you a one-to-one reflection, but it is there for a reason. And the fundamental purpose of relationship is for everyone and everything in that relationship to reflect to everything else in the relationship what you need to know to become more of who you truly are, so that you can see yourself in those relationships. See something you need to know about yourself in those relationships, even as you are willing to support the others in those relationships to know what they need to know about themselves to become more of who they truly are. So have deep gratitude and deep appreciation for the relationships of all kinds in your life, no matter what they may be, no matter how they may come into your reality. Appreciate them and see deeply into them, the reflections they are there to show you, so that you may learn and you may grow and remember who you truly are. And then allow yourself to shift into creative expression. And it is this, the seventh segment, the seventh need of truly expressing your passion, that is the trigger for the formula that we have given all of you of acting on your passion to the best you can with no insistence or assumption on the outcome and remaining in a positive state no matter what happens. Because even if something happens you don't prefer, you have to know it's there for a reason. And if you stay in a positive state, you will get the benefit of why it's there. So the idea is that the seventh segment of creative expression, allowing yourself to actually take the actions that you prefer to take on your passion, will actually bring you all the other 6 basic needs through synchronicity, through the tools in the kit of passion. So don't hold back. Appreciate yourself. Appreciate your gifts. Give what you have to give. And remember, you can't just think about it. You can't just meditate on it. You can't just imagine the idea of creative expression. Physical action is the language of physical reality. If you don't actually take action on it, you're not grounding it in the reality, you're not speaking the language, and it's not reflected in your world. But remember, if you do have a gift to give, that is your first clue that there must be someone in your world waiting to receive it, or you would not be excited about giving it, because there would be no purpose and no point to it. If you have something to give, there is always someone waiting to receive it. Don't hold back from them. Don't deprive them of what you have to give that is a true reflection of your passion. Appreciate yourself enough to be yourself instead of attempting to be someone you're not. So spend that last 5 minutes, or whatever timing feels correct to you, to have true, deep appreciation for your ability to act on your passion, to be passionate about life, to be passionate about being passionate, to let that energy flow through you, to let yourself channel it and be that conduit, that valve through which beauty comes, through which grace comes, and be a living example of living your dreams. Because you never know who might see you and who might feel that you are in that state of beauty and grace, and you may never know that they saw you, but you may light up their life and change their life just by being a living example of being yourself as fully as you can. You never know. And remember, it's not about creating more impact, because just by being who you are and just by being where you are, you already have all the impact you will ever have. The idea of creating impact in the world is not creating more impact than you have, it's revealing the impact you already have just by being yourself. So allow yourself to bloom, to blossom, to flower, and allow yourself to become one of the many blossoms in the beautiful garden that exists and can exist on the version of earth you prefer to live upon. That will make all the difference in the world. Does that make sense? Yes. All right. Again, permission slips like this and any other are simply techniques and tools that allow you, if they align with your belief system, to give yourself permission to be more of who you are. That's why they're called permission slips. But the idea is that if your imagination decides in some way, shape, or form to add a little of this and add a little of that, change a little of this and change a little of that, whatever feels correct to you is correct. So let your imagination be your guide. You can start this meditation in exactly the way we described it, but over time realize it may shift, it may change. And ultimately, the whole point, as we have said, of any permission slip is to realize that you are the primary permission slip in your life, because you're the one making the changes anyway. The permission slip isn't doing it for you. It's simply aligning with your belief system in a manner that allows you to circumvent your belief system in the way that you prefer to, because you say the tool makes it easier. But that's just a decision and a choice that you've made. Ultimately, you will realize you can just make that choice anytime you wish. And therefore, the idea of the mind-body meditation based on the 7 basic needs will become automatic, entrained within you. You will just know it as first nature, and you will shift as you prefer to, and you will know who you are. So, we thank you for allowing us to deliver this description of the meditation to you. And in return for the gift you have given us in allowing us to experience all of you, I ask you now, how may we continue to be of service? You may begin with your questions and dialogues if you wish.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you so much. It's always such an honor.
And it is for us again a passion and a pleasure.
I have a couple of safety and personal growth related questions that I would like to ask you. The first is, I work on ships. I don't have a home base or a car or anything like that.
Yes.
And that was great. But now that that is no longer happening, when I was traveling home a few weeks ago, I began to feel fear about my new life and about the trajectory of that.
All right. And what is it you are afraid of?
I was afraid of, as I was transitioning, of running out of money and resources while the world was on hold, and I wasn't sure what to do.
Well, first and foremost, have you expanded your definition of support and abundance to something beyond the concept of money? Because that is one of the symbols that exists on your planet, but it's not the only expression of abundance.
Yes, I have listened to your definitions, but I suppose I don't trust that yet within myself enough.
All right. Then that simply means you don't understand how reality works.
Okay.
So a deeper understanding, taking time to have a deeper understanding of what the mechanism is that's already creating your reality experience will give you a little bit more of a certainty of how you can allow yourself to more consciously direct it in the way that allows you to know you are supported. Because remember, it's not possible to not be supported, but you will be supported in what you believe is possible for you to be supported in, including the fear of not being supported. So if you hold on to a belief system that says you might not be supported, you will be supported in that belief. Do you see the irony and the paradox there?
I do.
So the idea is to recognize how things work is that it's not possible to not be supported, but you get to decide what you're supported in. And if you decide that it's more real for you to feel that you're not being supported, that's what you get supported in. So it's up to you to decide whether or not you prefer to be supported that way or some other way, because the issue isn't about the idea that you're not supported. The only issue is, how do you want to experience the support, positively or negatively? You get to make that decision, because the mechanism doesn't have a mind of its own, and it won't contradict you when you decide you prefer to be supported in a particular, more positive way.
So I suppose then moving forward, just continuing to follow my highest excitement will get the momentum going. And
well, don't leave out the rest of the formula, because this is what many of your people do. They always latch on to, oh yes, I'm following my passion, and they conveniently forget the rest of the formula. Do you know the whole formula, all 4 parts?
I believe so. Well,
can you repeat it?
The next part is following your highest excitement with no expectations on the outcome.
You actually skipped from 1 to 3.
You might have to remind me of 2 and 4.
Part 1 is to allow yourself, yes, to act on your passion as often as you possibly can, to the best you can, until you can act no further on it. That's number 2. Number 3 is no assumption, no insistence on what the outcome should be. Number 4 is remain in a positive state no matter what the outcome is, so that you can receive the benefit from it, no matter how it looks. You have to have the entire formula there, and you have to act on it precisely in order to experience that it's actually working to your advantage. You follow?
Me too.
Does that help?
It does. And I suppose just with everything that's going on now, that really it really doesn't matter in a sense, correct?
Exactly. It's how you use it that matters, not what it is that's happening. Because everything that's happening can serve double duty, positive, negative. So it's how you relate to it, how you use it, how you respond to it that matters. That's what makes the difference in your life experience, not what it is. What it is a neutral prop. Something is happening. How do you respond to it? That determines everything about your experience of that particular thing or circumstance or situation.
That's very good. Thank you.
This is how reality works. So that's what we were saying, is you simply have to develop a clearer understanding of how the mechanism actually functions. And when you really have a clear understanding of the A, B, C, D, E, F, G of the mechanism, then all these things answer themselves because you know how the machine works. And you have the instruction manual, and all you have to do is follow the instructions. And if you do that, the machine will work as advertised to your advantage. Simple as that. It's no more complicated than that. You just have to understand that this is how reality is created by you.
Thank you. I think just with current times, my brain decided that it would forget, with the pandemic or something happening, that somehow the mechanism would change, but it doesn't.
The mechanism never changes. The only thing that changes is your definition and perspective and experience of it. The structure of existence never changes.
Okay.
Yes?
Yes. Yes.
It is only your experience of it, your perspective of it that changes, and that's what expands creation. Creation doesn't expand in terms of its structure. Its structure is what it is. But you can have an infinite variety of experiences and relationships and definitions of that structure. Yes?
Yes.
Does this help?
It does. I would like to ask one additional question.
Yes.
This has to do with traveling, and now that we've talked a bit on how reality works,
yes,
it'd be interesting. So I like to travel, and I like to travel on my own, and I like areas that are remote and wild and beautiful. And normally that's okay, but I've run into some challenges that I was wanting to ask you about.
Such as?
The past few months, I was noticing that I would get interactions with people that I didn't prefer. I don't want to say negative just because of what we've just talked about, but I would have an extremely profound, it seemed to always follow this pattern, no matter the country, no matter where I went. So I know it's my projection, but I would have a profound positive connection with the planet, just awe-inspiring, so incredible. And then it would be almost directly followed by something that I didn't prefer that felt very aggressive, either with human, animal, or something like that. And it kept happening. And I was just wanting to ask you.
So what are you trying to teach yourself in terms of how you respond to those things?
That it should just be neutral, really, and that I can take something positive away from it. But at the same time, I felt fear traveling alone and not quite sure how to respond.
Then maybe you need to do a little bit more traveling within first.
Okay.
And structure yourself in a way that you understand more clearly that you have an indestructible core, and that no matter where you wind up or what you experience there, it is all something that can teach you in a way that adds to your understanding of yourself if you use it that way. So there is something there you're attempting to tell yourself about how it is you respond to these things and what it is these things do to your own sense of self-esteem or self-worth.
Okay.
Yes?
Okay. So go within a bit to think about it. Okay.
This is one of the things that this time is for. When you have sequestered and isolated yourselves, it's like going into a monastic experience where you get to do a little bit more inner exploration so you can come out the other side more knowledgeable about who you truly prefer to be and how you truly prefer to relate to the things that go on in the world, even if you can neutrally observe that you don't necessarily prefer all of them. It's about learning where you actually live as opposed to what it is you are observing. Because sometimes they are there and drawn into your life to give you an opportunity to see if you've actually changed or if you're just going to react to them in the same old fear-based way. Because remember, the measure of change has nothing to do with whether the outer world changes. The measure of change is whether or not you respond differently, even if things still look the same.
But isn't it kind of an interesting thought that if you're responding differently, you're kind of in a different vibrational state? So maybe those same things that you prefer wouldn't even happen to begin with.
It might not, but the point is you wouldn't care.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter what happens if you're in charge of your particular vibrational state. Who cares what's happening around you? You haven't gotten to the point yet where you actually don't care.
No, I have not gotten to that point. It will be nice to get to that point.
Well, you can.
Okay.
When you understand again how this works, you will see that you're simply giving yourself an opportunity to recognize what true change is all about, and it has nothing at all to do with the reflection.
Okay.
The reflection can sometimes be a guide to what's going on, and the reflection can and often will change to match the vibration. But if you need it to change, you're missing the point.
Oh, that's good. That makes sense.
That's like saying, I'm looking in a mirror and I'm seeing a frown, but I need the reflection to change before I do. It never will. You have to decide to smile. And yes, then the reflection may have no choice but to smile back. But at that point, you don't really care to look at the reflection anymore because you're smiling anyway, no matter what the reflection looks like. Because it's not about the reflection. It's about you having made a decision and made a choice to be who you prefer to be, regardless of what you saw in the mirror to begin with.
That makes sense.
I know, that's why I said it. Does this help you?
It does. Thank you so much, Bashar.
Then we thank you. Good day.
Thank you.